Welcome back to Heart of the Matter with the Americhicks, Molly and Kim, and we are sitting here with our good friend Chris Davis. He is in studio, and we're going to get to his personal story in a moment. But online, we're talking to Andy Peth with the Party of Choice, and we're talking about the preamble to the Constitution. We're on the specific point, promote the general welfare. Before we went to break, Andy said something pretty interesting, and I want to just repeat it. When the government, when our founding fathers put together the Constitution, they wrote in the preamble the 6 purposes of creating this federal government. And it was to do 6 things. 5 of them they were going to guarantee. Only one of them was a suggestion they were going to promote. They weren't going to guarantee. What are they going to promote? General welfare. There's no guarantee that people are going to make a lot of money. They're going to, be able to provide for everything that they need. They're going to have their yachts and their boats and their houses and everything. There's no guarantee. Just like when our government says life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, they say that they're going to protect our life and protect our liberty, but they're not going to guarantee our happiness. They're going to protect our opportunity to pursue happiness. And I think it's interesting, Andy, that you said that. So let's keep going, but it is interesting. What is the proper role of government? They told us the proper role of government. Our founding fathers told us when they wrote the preamble, when they wrote the Constitution, they did not want to guarantee us all happiness or a great outcome. They wanted to make sure that we had the right to pursue it, and it's our choice to do it or not, right?
Oh, absolutely. But take a look at this. Why do you think some people want it to guarantee? I mean, look at our current leadership of our country. You'll notice the White House does this all backwards, right? They place very low priority on guaranteeing things like justice, domestic tranquility, defense. Very high priority on guaranteeing general welfare. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's really a power thing, isn't it?
Yep, you hit it right on the head. I was going to say one word, control, which is power. Think about the basketball game again. If the non-competing force, the government, stays in its role, then it only ensures justice on the court, tranquility in the stands, and defense of the building against dangers, thus securing the blessings, like jobs that come from all that liberty happening out on the court. See how that works? But notice, these things don't control the game. They only promote all the opportunity and well-being, the general welfare that comes from the game. But if the non-competing force decides to control general welfare, then it actually redistributes the points. It controls the outcome. The reason the founding fathers wanted general welfare to be promoted and all the other things to be controlled is because the other things were within the government's proper role as referee and security. General welfare is the production of lifestyle that comes from goods and services and those things that is best produced by competing forces. You don't want to control those. You want to monitor. Remember, capitalists, we love having a government in its proper role, which, by the way, should be way smaller than we currently have one. All right? Now, if our leadership wants control over the game, they'll place less emphasis on doing their proper job. Have you noticed this? Everything they're supposed to be doing well, they do very poorly. And they'll place more emphasis on controlling something the founding fathers never wanted controlled, which is the general welfare. Does that kind of make sense?
Well, it does. Andy, this is Kim here, and I'm going a little bit out on a limb, but I'm thinking about all the people in the stands. They have used their hard-earned dollars to come and watch the game within the proper context. As you've said, it's a safe environment. They're going to watch competing forces. They have earned their own money to go and watch the game. They've chosen to be there versus being forced to be there. And they will use their money as they want. They may buy a beer or Coke, whatever. Right. But when government comes in then and controls the whole situation, they might, force everybody to go to the game and then force them and tell them how much they have to spend and what they're going to buy, right?
Oh, great point. Great point. Quick example. See, government, you have to work for them. Private industry, they have to work for you. I love LeBron James. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a tremendous basketball player. I think he's great. And
I don't live under a rock, Andy.
Oh, he's not as big right now as he was a couple years ago, to be honest. But
I have.
Here's the thing. I remember a couple of years ago, I was watching the Miami Heat in a game, and he made some great play. It wasn't even a shot. It was a great pass, and I went wild. I was wild, what a play. And this leftist type who was near me said, yeah, he should for what he gets paid. And I said, you know what? I hope he makes twice what he makes. He said, what? I said, yeah, because LeBron James works for me. You see, he doesn't make one dime unless I do everything that you were just talking about. Unless I go to his games, buy his products, buy tickets. LeBron James works for me. All right? His wealth is a result of my choice, and I celebrate both. Because it's freedom, it's liberty. But the second that you try to guarantee it, then it's controlled.
Right. And limited.
Yeah. I mean, well, like we were saying really quick here, why doesn't guaranteeing general welfare work? Well, there's only one way to do it, and that's through redistribution of wealth, right? Be it through Obamacare or welfare or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you 3 quick questions. And I always do this with young people. It always surprises them. Number 1, if I take more of what you have, won't you cling to what you have left?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, number 2, are the rich people, are they perfect sinless creatures? Is everyone Jesus, Gandhi, and Mother Teresa all rolled up into one?
I haven't met one yet.
No, exactly. They're selfish. So in other words, they're just like us. So if we take more of what they have, won't they cling to what they have left? And if the rich cling to what they have left, they hire less, promote less, expand less, give fewer raises, charge more for their products. They act just like we would. Mm-hmm. See how this is the opposite of promoting the general welfare? When you try to, remember, government is the referee. It is the security, to secure the game, to secure the setting, this country we call America, and to be the referee to make sure people play within the rules. It should not be providing the products, which, by the way, includes education. I really believe that should be vouchered. Okay? This is when you take from the rich, you are demanding that they do the opposite of promote the general welfare, unless you are somehow hoping that they're not going to be like you and they won't cling to what they have left. But why would that be? You just admit it. They're not perfect sinless creatures. They're just like you. See what I mean? When I ask a young person that, they're like, whoa. I say, yeah. So you take more of what they have. Here's why the system breaks down. You take more of what they have. They cling to what they do exactly what you would do. They cling to what they have left, and that doesn't promote general welfare. It crushes it.
Now, Andy, Kim here again, and I'm going to ask you a very simple question because this question comes up as I talk to different women out there. They're very, I don't know if idealistic is the right word, but they're like, why would government do that? Isn't government there to help us? So what would your response be?
My response would be the basketball game again. What helps us is the best product in every aspect, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, look at education. Wouldn't it be better to have a voucher and be able to choose where you put your kids? Or do you want to control where other people put their kids? See, what are you into? Are you into control, or are you really into the general welfare of everyone? Or do you want to control others and make them live like you? When you look at the left, always look at control. And so, you know, the idea of redistributing wealth, it operates on another thing I would tell her is it operates on the wrong assumption at every level of society. It assumes that the rich are perfect, good, sinless creatures, and they won't be embittered by having their wealth taken away. It assumes the poor are perfect, good, sinless creatures who will not become dependent on this. And it assumes everybody in the middle are perfect, good, sinless creatures who will be just as motivated to produce and make a better basketball game, a better economy, so that they can move up and have more of their wealth taken. So it's wrong at all 3 levels, right?
Right.
Why would you want to put together a system that has the wrong assumptions of mankind, of people, at all 3 levels? Why would you want to put together a system that demands that the rich be what you aren't?
Well,
okay?
And the other thing about it, though, is the aspiration of America, instead of looking at the rich and being envious, you know, the idea in America is that everyone has a shot at you know, working hard, luck, you know, a variety of things, that they have a shot at that success as well. And there are millions of stories of American success that shows that that's true.
Oh, that's a great point. You know, I always hear so many politicians say, only in America could my story happen. Only here could you have this kind of power, wealth, or whatever. You know what America is to me? only in America can you have that kind of power, and can this person over here rise to that kind of wealth, and I don't have to be bitter about it.
Right.
In America, I don't grade my life on a curve against other people. I simply fly as high as I want to fly, in the way I want to fly. And I'm not controlled by some government-dictated ideal of what flying high is, which is everybody having the same amount.
Right. You know, Andy, I was thinking, it is only in America, as I know it today, that a father of any background, any race, any social status, any background, any education background, he came from any country, but as long as he's in America right now, no matter what situation he's in, it is only here that he can tell his son sitting on his knee that you literally can be whatever you want to be. You can achieve whatever you want to, because in this country, you are rewarded by the value that you bring, by the creations that you bring. So strive for the stars, strive for the moon. You know, don't give up. Don't just settle for minimum wage or government handouts. You can do anything here, and you can keep what you earn. So go for it. And that's only in America because of this government.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's because the government is not in charge of the economy. At least it shouldn't be. Why? Because the reason you can fly so high is the only people who choose your success are all the consumers, not one central government. If one central government chooses success, they're going to pick and choose winners.
Right. And they're going to pick and choose based on their favorites and who's connected to them and where you come from and your status. And yeah, exactly. Rather than your personal value and what you bring forward.
Right. And so now it matters if LeBron James can hit that 20-foot turnaround jump shot. His excellence matters because government didn't pick and choose who wins.
Well, and Andy, we've got just a few minutes, and we're going to have you back again because the conversations go way too quickly.
I have a lot of fun.
But the solution is what we have going on in America. Sometimes now with government is they're saying, hey, LeBron, you can only score X amount of points because over here we want to make it even. And so instead of letting LeBron James soar to be everything that he can be, which, you know, people come to watch him play, in a way, government is saying to people that, hey, no higher than this. Right. Otherwise, you're going to be paying more in taxes. Government may be restricting your opportunities. And so what do we do about that? Just a couple of minutes. What do you say?
Well, I say, number one, would you want to watch that game? No, you wouldn't. Number two, apparently other people don't want to either because you look at those three countries that were cut in half, same territory and everything, cut in half in the last century by war, and the half that did what you just said fell apart, and the half that let LeBron play succeeded. Let excellence soar. Don't try to regulate excellence. You regulate excellence, you don't get excellence.
Right.
And by the way, it's boring.
That it is.
Well said.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andy Peth, ThePartyOfChoice.com. Everybody, take a look at his stuff. He's pretty good. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.